House. Welcome, Team David Meltzer. Let's post up there, david@dmeltzer.com. And my text community, 949-298-2905. Welcome, everybody. Nick, Jake, how are you? We're open to questions. Let's load them up. Happy to help. We got some fun today, as usual. Thank you so much for joining me, as usual. Frank, good to see you as well. Let's get some questions rolling. Let's get that pinned up there the best that we can. Good morning, Colleen. There we go. Team David Meltzer. Right on it. Smart enough. There you go. If you want the exercises, guides, my books, if you want to see any of the trainings, the Billionaires, Millionaires playbooks, download the playbook, like it, share it. The playbook, you'll love it. It's there for you. Here we go. Question, if you were investing in a pro sports league, which one would you invest in? Well, at the look at that contract yesterday, I'd invest in the Premier League. Boy, how can you afford to pay that much money to one person? But yeah, I think soccer, World Premier League soccer would be the team I'd like to invest in. Ego-wise, I think that's money-wise. Ego-wise, it'd be the NFL. I'd like to invest in an NFL team, ego-wise, but money-wise, Premier League soccer. All right, good question, by the way. Here we go. The questions loaded in very quickly here. Good morning, Mikey. It's too late to launch a podcast, or is it too late to launch your podcast or your personal brand? Not even close. There's two things that we can't fathom. One, the size of this opportunity to have your own brand and your own content, and two, infinity. And they're very close to one another. So absolutely not. 100%. If you want some help with that, more than happy to help you. What's the difference between setting intentions and goals? You know what's funny is that very few people have asked me to distinguish between intentions and goals. Intentions are what you think, say, do, believe, and understanding your unconscious competencies, your personality traits, your characteristics, your obsessions and addictions. That's what intentions is. And you pay attention to your intentions, right? And what you are seeking are your goals with those intentions. And so for me, I love to angle towards my goals. I don't like to think with arrogance that I have a direct path to my goals. So I'm always happy where I'm at, taking inventory of my values to prepare my intentions. Then I angle to what I want, my goals, but I have faith I'll end up somewhere better than even the goals that I set. Why? Because I can't fathom infinity. You can quote me on that. Dave Meltzer cannot fathom infinity, and I don't think anybody can. And therefore, we're always angling to what we want. Therefore, faith is important because you'll end up somewhere better than that you want with faith. So very, very important distinction, intention and goals. What is the one job you had that most people don't know about? I think most people don't know that I sold educational systems when I was in college. So the company would buy leads from hospitals of pregnant women and their husbands, and I would sell an 18-year book program that started with books to read to your stomach, to books to read to your infant, to books to read, and then an encyclopedia, and new books would come every month according to the age of your child, and we would finance it out, however long. But yeah, most people don't know. That was my first sales job. I would, if I was lucky, get two appointments a night, one at 6 p.m. and one at 8 p.m. But could make more money than anyone in college selling those books. Now books are relevant. People didn't think you could do research outside of books. If you could give your 30-year-old self advice, what would it be? Same advice I give my 20-year-old self, my 10-year-old self, 40 and 50-year-old self. Ask for help, dummy. The fastest way to get somewhere is to find someone that's already there and ask them for directions. That's the advice I tell myself all the time. I don't know why I'm so afraid to ask for help. There's so many times I get off the phone and email, look at a text message or even my social media and say, why didn't you ask? Why don't you just ask for help? It'd be so much easier if you did. Looking at my executive producer of the Movement Music Festival, singer and songwriter, checking on where we're at. Are we here? There she is. Awesome. Awesome. All righty. Dun, dun, dun. I gave a little.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, David.
How are you?
I'm good. So happy to be here bright and early. I was like, I gotta get on. So yeah, so nice
Oh my
being
gosh,
here.
you would never know it's early. So where are you in California, I assume then?
Yeah, I'm located in Los Angeles.
I'm right below you in Orange County, so we're not too
Oh,
far
okay, we're
away.
close. We're neighbors.
Yeah, but I wake up at 4, so I'm already tired. That's what I people are like, oh,
I
you look
already
like
know.
you
I was like, I bet he wakes up at like 4 a.m. every morning doing his morning get me up. So I already knew.
Well, tell me about the Movement Music Festival. Obviously, that's right up my alley. You're so talented as a singer, a songwriter.
Oh, thank
Uh,
you.
and music to me it's why Clubhouse, right? Voice to me is so important.
Oh yeah, we just joined Clubhouse. How crazy is that? It's
Come
pretty
join me. I
good.
do the Millionaire Breakfast Club on Fridays. Well, it's early for you, 6 a.m.
Oh
But
no,
I
I
do
joined that. The
Mondays.
millionaires are there.
Yeah, Mondays at 3 p.m. too. Join me. I have a question thing. But yeah, anyway, Clubhouse is perfect too. But let's talk about how song can move us, how music moves us, because I think it's really important to understand that it's motivational and inspirational.
Definitely, definitely. And the movement, what it is, it's really an action. It's where art and action meet to make a change. And the movement was really inspired by the civil unrest that took place last summer regarding police brutality. And I saw everything that was going on, and I saw an opportunity to make a difference with something I'm very familiar with which is music. So I got a team together of like-minded people, and we sought out different artists, big or small, who really were passionate and active about speaking up about what was going on. And it just turned out amazingly. And we had over 70,000 people tune in live, and we're constantly raising money for a beneficiary, the NAACP, which does a lot of great work for social change for all different types of people.
Yeah, it's so interesting because I think I love to phrase what happened this summer is elevating the attention to something that has existed for a long time. Right. I told
Exactly.
my wife, I said, Warren Moon's been my business partner for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I've been a witness to, but never a victim, obviously, of,
Mm-hmm.
this type of discrimination and unrest. But
Mm-hmm.
I want to learn, right? And what
Yeah.
I think is so interesting about the movement is it raises the awareness
Mm-hmm.
in the correct bonding light that we all can come together and say, look, where is this and how is this occurring? Where's the systematic side of what's happening? Where's,
Mm-hmm.
the ignorant side of what's happening? Where do we need to
Exactly.
educate people? And where's the hatred side? Where
Mm-hmm.
is this segment that is full of hate? And
Right.
why are these people full of hate? And how can we stop, to me, building a community of hate or educating hate or inspiring hate? And in my opinion, I don't know, you've been studying this like myself. I find that last group is the most well known, but the
Mm-hmm.
smallest.
Right.
And
Right.
that's what really
Exactly.
is frustrating. And so if we can get, beautiful people together with like minds, like you said, to create a
Definitely.
collective consciousness, I always say one particle of light overcomes millions of particles of darkness.
That's
Uh,
good. That's great.
so you, to me, you're that particle of light that will help
Thank
dissipate,
you.
dissolve, and hopefully disappear that small faction of hate, because we can deal with the other stuff. We can make systematic changes. It won't happen as fast as we want. We
Right.
can elevate awareness. We can do all the other stuff, but it'll always be and always has been historically that small faction of haters that
Right. And they have a
get
big
the
voice.
attention and
Yeah.
disrupt what we are all trying to do, which is expand, grow, and
Right.
unite uh,
Exactly.
together. What to you, were some of the challenges that you faced or you saw when you were, because I know you just recently held the Movement Music Festival,
Yeah.
and are you
Last
planning on
October.
doing another one?
Yeah, so we're planning the movement 2021. It's going to be bigger and better. And one of the things that was the biggest challenge for me was just perseverance. Of course, it's a very sensitive topic. It was very sensitive for me, but really just to have the energy and just the positivity to keep going and to know what we're fighting for is bigger than ourselves was the most important thing. We got no's, but we also got a lot of yeses. And in the end, the no's felt so much better because when we did get a yes, it was like, oh my gosh, like now we know that this was meant to be. So really just the perseverance to keep going and to put it on was the biggest thing, definitely.
Yeah, the greatest lesson I've learned is to enjoy that consistent, everyday, persistent, without quit pursuit of your own potential. And I think I saw your parents run by in the comments.
Oh, really?
Is that
Oh,
Lori
shout out to
Battle?
my
Is Lori
parents.
Battle?
Yes.
Lori Battle, your
My
mom?
mom, Lori. Yeah, my
Yeah.
mom, Lori. Hi, mom. I love you. And my dad, he's watching too. I know they're
Yeah.
fans.
They
So
have the couple photo. They have the couple photo on there. I just saw it pass by.
I
So,
know she's on. She doesn't get up either, but she's like, I'm being on today too. So yeah,
oh,
I'm
well,
glad to
apples
hear
don't fall far from the tree. So wonderful creates wonderful. So that's, I wish my mom would come on more.
it.
All right, let's talk about where people can help. I like to have people come on here, explain what they're doing, but where can we all help you? How can we help you? What are some of the things that you're looking at or challenges that you face?
Definitely. So the Movement 2020 is now on YouTube forever. And the great thing about that is the NAACP link to go donate directly to them, no third party anything, will be live forever. So if you watch the movement, you can still donate. Next year, we're going to be choosing a different, or this year, we're going to be choosing a different beneficiary, which we will be announcing on our Instagram, the Chateau Music, and also our website, thechateaumusic.com. So if you want to go watch last year's movement, feel free to, and you can donate there. All proceeds go directly to the NAACP.
And it's a very complicated issue with Black Lives Matter, and it took me a little bit of a while to figure out how could all lives matter be offensive to anyone, and then I understood why that we need to elevate the attention to, for example, the Black Lives Matter. I mean, there's all types of lessons that need to be learned. What was the one lesson that you've learned so far that you could share with us as you've built this extraordinary platform to help create this light that's going to overcome all these particles of darkness?
Yeah, and I think that's interesting you say that because I feel like the one thing we can do is just educate ourselves. I've had to have hard conversations with my own friends and be like, we come from different backgrounds, but in the end, there are things that all unite us, and we're really not that different in the end. So I think educating people that, may be hard conversations because I'm all about positivity and having fun. I just want to joke around, but there's times for fun and there's also times for seriousness. And it tested a lot of relationships I had with people of different backgrounds. And I just had to sit down with them and be like, this is my struggle as a Black person in America. And it would mean so much to me if you just sat down and learned what it really means to be Black in America, because it's very complicated. And, it's fun sometimes, but then there's also struggles. So just educating and stuff like that, definitely.
Yeah, it was like a double entendre with having to appreciate how we all are the same, but also appreciate our differences, both in the racial context, socioeconomic context, but political context, all seem to be elevated, with the aspect of, to me, a more hateful, ignorant attitude that was pervading and that now seems to be dissipating, which is great.
Yeah,
But I do think,
God.
yeah, thank goodness. I think the education side, what I have learned, and I really appreciate you taking the lead as a young person that has such influence, is, when you sit down to get educated, come in with the perspective, let's appreciate how we're the same. Let's
Right.
educate ourselves on how we're the same, because I think this opens the mind more to then allow ourselves to appreciate the differences.
Right.
Too many people try to, I think, promote the difference out of
Right.
respect or offense or resentment or guilt, or
Mhm.
depending on where and who you are. And instead of a very simple platform is, hey, let's sit down, let's appreciate how we're the same. And
Exactly.
that's going to
We're so
emotionally bond.
alike. Yeah. I'm like,
Right. And
I
then
say the same
then let's
thing.
talk about how we're different. Like Dave's short, Dave's this,
Yeah.
we talk about, hey, we both share this goal. We both have big hearts. We both want love. We want lessons. We want air. We want all these things. But people forget this, and then we can say, yeah, but look how different we look.
Right.
And then how different we look becomes about this big compared
Right.
to people promote. Look, we look different, so you need to treat me this certain. Hold on a second. let's sit down and appreciate that. So I love what you're doing. Where
Thank
can
you.
people, what's the website? It's give the website, and I know it's,
Yes. So
give
Chateau
everything your
Music's
Instagram.
website, yes, is www.thechateaumusic.com. If you go on YouTube to look up the movement, you can just look up the movement Chateau Music or the movement 2020. I'm at Stina Battle. I have a new single coming out on the 5th, which is really exciting. I just had one of my songs go top 10 in Italy, which was super crazy. So a lot of fun things are happening, and it's really exciting. But check out the movement. Please donate to the NAACP. They're one of the oldest Black organizations ever, and they're doing great change for people of all colors, not just Black people, but everybody. So they're an awesome organization as well.
And you have a website, stinaballo.com as well,
Oh,
right?
yes. And my website is stinabattle.com, where you can check up on my music. And I also performed in the movement. So if you want to see me perform, go check out the movement as well.
Yeah, I just search to your uninvited video. Does really
Oh
well,
my gosh,
right? I'm a big
you
fan,
liked
so
it?
I don't fanboy often, but I'm going to. So
Oh my goodness. Yeah, and I have a new video coming out for my new song, Until We Forget, that came out this past January 1st. So look out
awesome.
for
We'll
that.
follow at Stina Battle and follow at Lori Battle.
Yes, look, there she goes. Sending some shout
Your
out to
mom's
Mama
following's
Lori.
gonna go way up
Thank
now.
you.
Come visit me on Clubhouse. Come Monday, it's 3 p.m. or you can wake up early Friday.
I know. I
I'll,
should start
I'll
waking up at
escalate. We got
4.
Grant Cardone. You know, there's some big people that come on. So we'd love to introduce you to some more people that may
Oh,
be
yes.
able.
Thank you. I'm going to follow you on Clubhouse. Oh, and David, really quick. I
Yeah,
want to send you a t-shirt. We have the movement t-shirt,
there you
and I
go.
want to send you one.
Please do.
So
I'll wear it on my Instagram or my office
yes, that would
hours.
be so awesome. Thank God I didn't forget. So yeah, let me know how I can send this to you, because I
I
really want to
will.
send. And Lori wants. She's like, make sure to offer David a T-shirt. So I
I'll
didn't
take it.
forget.
I'll take it. If it's free, it's me, especially something like that. It'll help people. And I'm looking forward to supporting you and elevating what you're doing and escalating it to more people. So keep up the great work. Don't quit.
I won't. Thank you so much, David, for having me. Bye,
You got it.
everybody.
Bye, Stina. Thank you so
Bye
much.
bye.
Bye bye. All right. The amazing Stina Battle. Check it out. Go to YouTube. You can follow her, the movement. Check it. It's just I love good. That's it. I'm all fired up. I'm good for the day. How about you, Colleen? I see a big heart there. That's our kinds of peeps. Absolutely. John Lee Dumas, my friend, is here. And of course, he's the host of the On Fire podcast, Common Path to the Uncommon Success. Um, Let me know when you're here, John. I'll take a few questions in between. Uh, boom, boom, boom. If you have limited time, which I don't because I have infinity of time, what matters more, building your own brand or your clients? They both matter. And I build a brand in a community which creates the clients that are aligned with my frequency, because building my brand in my community strengthens my signal, exposes my spectrum of people that are most aligned and tuned into that frequency, and it clarifies my message. On fire. It's been too long, man. How are you?
Listen, Puerto Rico sun is shining. Our birds are singing. Little Gussie Poo is sleeping after a nice little hike up a trail we have called Submarine Hill. So life is good, my man.
You look good. You look happy. You look healthy. That's all I ask for. Entrepreneurs on fire is right there. How great is that? Give me a little update. I know you got a book coming out, or has it come out yet?
March 23rd is the release date, but it's all about the pre-orders. We can talk about that a little bit later. But all's going well, my man. Just down here, busting my butt, having a fun time doing content production like a machine. You're a machine. I'm a machine. I'm at over 3,000 podcast episodes on Entrepreneurs on Fire since 2012. Just boom, boom,
Wow.
boom. With, of course, all-star successful studs like yourself and other great males and females that are making an impact in this world. So, I get to use that microphone very, very often to communicate with the world. And, we all know COVID was a bitch, but the reality is we can still be awesome wherever we're at in this world, making things happen, whether it be on microphones, on Zoom, just, controlling our own universe, because that's the world that we live in.
I'm a huge lessons person, and coming on with you and watching you over all these years. I've learned so many lessons, and doing my own. I'm a neophyte with 650 episodes compared to thousands, but
Rookie.
exactly.
Totally get it. Totally
But
get it.
I love the lessons. Like I tell my wife all the time, this is something that fell in my lap that I absolutely love. I love doing this. I love learning. Did you see that beautiful person, my friend Stina, before
I caught the
you?
end of that. Yeah, that was sweet.
Oh my God, that's the kind of thing that just makes my whole day. And then it's like, how do you stay so inspired every day? I'm like, how can I not? I'm meeting people like her, people like you to start I start at 4, but to continue my day. For you have thousands of these things. Give me a few highlights. I like the highlights of the lessons, like, the ones that rocked your world, the Billius or Milettes or the Deepak Chopras or the whoever it was. Like, which ones rocked your world? Just give me one or two. And if you can remember the lesson of why it rocked your world.
Yeah, well, listen, honestly, the Billius, the Ed Milettes, those guys were ballers and all-stars, but they didn't exist in the universe back when I started. So I go so much further back than that. Like, it was the Gary
Yeah, those
Vaynerchuks.
those are mine, right?
Yeah, it was the Gary Vaynerchuks, the Tim Ferrisses, it was the Seth Godins. It was,
Yeah.
those individuals that I was just so inspired by, reading their books, consuming their content, getting them on my podcast back in 2012, 2013, 2014, and just having a blast doing it. I mean, those were literally my people that, I was inspired by and that I'm now honored to call friends and, compatriots and, peers. And it's just been a great journey, a great time. I've been down here in Puerto Rico now for 4.5 years. So living life in paradise is absolutely fantastic. And got a lot of great things going on, my man.
I spent a lot of time in Puerto Rico. I covered the Southeast for West Publishing in 1992, and Puerto Rico was in my territory, so I could get down there. And then I represented the Clemente family, so
Oh, cool.
sports park there, and Luis and Roberto Jr. and his
Yeah.
mom. So I spent a lot of time down there. What a great vibe and great culture. Now, I'm not going to let you off the hook. Give me one powerful lesson that you've learned through those thousands. Like, for me, I got go-tos like be more interested than interesting, or be kind to your future self, do good deeds. Is there, one lesson that just keeps honing in after thousands, or one common
Brother,
denominator?
you don't have to put me on the hook or off the hook. I'm going to be here just crushing the value for you all day, every day. In fact, I'm going to share with you 3 right now. And this isn't any kind of a pitch because I'm going to give this to everybody that's here live right now. It's the Mastery Journal. And there's 3 things that I wrote about that I learned over my years: productivity, discipline, and focus. Those are the big 3, my friends. If there's 3 things that successful entrepreneurs do, they are productive, they are disciplined, they are focused. They produce the right content, they are a disciple to a plan of action, and they focus on one thing, follow one course until success. So the Mastery Journal, I created this back in 2017, just $1 million seller. I mean, this thing right here has helped so many people. It's amazing. It's mastering productivity, discipline, and focus in 100 days. I'm literally going to be sharing in a couple of minutes here how I'm going to be gifting that to every single person on this live call here. So we can talk about that in a minute. But those are 3 things, David. It is absolutely a no-brainer why I'm so successful, why I've been a multi-million-dollar earner, net profits for 8 years in a row now, and why I will be for the foreseeable future, while, by the way, only working. And I say only working because when I work, I'm actually playing, because this is work right now.
Right.
Me and you hanging
I
out.
call it
Come on,
activity.
really
Activity
work.
you get paid for. Activity you get paid for. Don't use the
Yeah,
word
whatever
work.
you want to call it, like this, like kind of stuff. This is what I
Yeah.
do when I do it. It's just an unbelievable opportunity. This is available to everybody. That's why I love people that are here right now, consuming this content, absolutely on fire themselves. Because that's what I was doing back in 2012. I was like, I'm the average of the 5 people I spend the most time with, and my 5 suck. Like, they're not bad people, but they're not motivated. They're not inspiring. They're not looking to do better things and live the best version of their lives. They're just settling for whatever. And that doesn't make them a bad person. It just doesn't make them people that I want to surround myself with. So I said, screw it. I'm launching a podcast. I'm going to suck as a podcast host, but I'm going to interview people. I'm going to get to hang out with the Davids and the Tim Ferrisses and the Gary Vaynerchuks virtually around the world. I've done 3,000 of those conversations now. There's a reason I end every one of my podcast episodes with you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, and you're hanging out with David and JLD today, so keep up the heat. There's a reason why I do that, because it's so flippin' true. Those are Jim Rohn words. They were true when he said them back in the early 1900s. They're still true today. Believe it. It's true.
And it also goes over to your aggregate net wealth. You know, it's amazing. I tell people, you know, that aggregate of the 5 people you surround yourself with also applies to your net wealth. You know, you take that average net wealth of the people you hang out with, you'll be right there, because that limiting belief will always be. Now, you've written this new book, right? In March, it's coming out. We can talk about it. The Common Path to the Uncommon Success. How does that differ from the Discipline, Productivity, and Focus from the earlier book? What is that uncommon path, or what was the inspiration to share the uncommon path? I mean, the common path to the uncommon success.
So back in 2016, I published the Freedom Journal, which is about accomplishing one goal in 100 days. In 2017, I published that Mastery Journal, how to master productivity, discipline, and focus in 100 days. And then in 2019, I published the Podcast Journal, how to create and launch a podcast in 50 days. I'm giving all 3 of those journals to people that are here live. So hang around. You're going to want to hang around for this, because you'll have the details as to how and why. Literally, like if you're in the US, by the way, I'm shipping them to your door. If you're outside the US, no problems. I'm still going to give you immediate access to the beautiful digital pack version of all 3 of those, gifting them to you. Those were journals. Those are like workbooks. This is a traditional published book. I spent all of 2020 busting my booty, David, writing my first traditionally published book, The Common Path to Uncommon Success. I wrote every word. It's 71,000 words. That's 273 pages of massive value bombs, brother. Massive value bombs across the board. I'm so proud of this project. I love it to death. And like, I don't want to sound like I'm egotistical about it. It's just, I wrote it and I love it. I believe in it. I really do. This is a fantastic book, because listen, I had help. I wrote every word, but I have an amazing editor, an amazing publisher. They helped me make this book amazing. HarperCollins is my publisher. I have personal endorsements from Gary Vaynerchuk, from Seth Godin, Neil Patel, Eric Mandy, Dory Clark. They've read it. They love it. It's just a fantastic book. And I'm going all in with this thing. Like, this is a 17-step roadmap to financial freedom and fulfillment. So if that sounds interesting to you, financial freedom and fulfillment, this is a 17-step roadmap to get there. So the book is called The Common Path to Uncommon Success, a 17-step roadmap to financial freedom and fulfillment. Because those 3,000 interviews, David, that I've done since 2012, I've distilled 17 principles, foundational elements that you, myself, and all these other successful entrepreneurs have done on our path to uncommon success. And they're not complicated. They're not hidden. They're not secrets. They are foundational principles that are out there in the world, but people just don't know about them. They don't see them. And I laid it out for you chronologically, step by step, because I don't want it to be confusing. I want it to be so simple. Step 1 is chapter 1. Step 17 is chapter 17. It's a 17-chapter book. Step 1 to step done, my friends. 17 steps. You will find your version of uncommon success, period. And this book right now is available for pre-order, and pre-orders are everything for a successful book launch. So as I've kind of teased a few times about how you guys want to get this for free, or my 3 journals for free, all you have to do is pre-order one copy of The Common Path to Uncommon Success. It's $17 on Kindle. It's $28 hardcover. Whatever it is you want to do, you can get the audiobook for $16. Any one of those 3, you pre-order this book, I'm going to ship to your door all 3 of those journals. All 3, the Freedom Journal, the Mastery Journal, and the Podcast Journal. These are beautiful faux leather, gold embossed. Here's the Freedom. Here's the Mastery. This puppy's gorgeous, silver embossed. The Podcast Journal's flipping fantastic. You can hold it. It's orange. It's gorgeous. All you need to do, David, order 1 copy of this puppy right here. 1 copy of my best work ever, 273 pages of my best work in the world. I am shipping all 3 of those journals to your door. If you want to pin this, David, I'd appreciate it. Yeah. uncommonsuccessbook.com. That's
Put it up there, Jake. We'll pin it over there. JLD, man, what I love about you and, you know, the others that you listed, I always say if to educate, you need to be able to simplify to edify. Meaning, if you don't know it well enough to put a step-by-step thing, people are always amazed, right? I got these 5 daily practices, is this or that. He's given you 17 steps simplified from years of experience from not only himself, but other people. I'm pinning it up there right now. You can see it, uncomesuccessbook.com. Pre-order it. It's a simplified methodology to uncommon success because he's been around the uncommon successful people for years and years. You know, we're coming on 10 years, man. That's incredible. And
a decade.
You know, I'll tell you, there's a ton of stuff like your first 2 books. I've seen the 2 journals and they're exceptional. They're at the top of the top of all the different stuff, but nobody has a podcast journal like yours. Like literally, because there just isn't enough people that have the experience. There's Rogan, there's you know, there's Gary, but they haven't taken the time to help people like you have. And now to aggregate all of that content and get your new book, 17 Steps, you know, I'm first in. I know what I'm doing when I hang up with you.
Yeah,
so,
buddy.
Also follow at John Lee Dumas. Check out Entrepreneurs on Fire if you haven't checked out.
Clubhouse too. I heard you guys mention Clubhouse.
Yeah, we're going to Clubhouse. You and I will be on Clubhouse together. 2 p.m. I think Pacific time. So we'll get to talk about this a little bit more today. I'm looking forward to handling some conversations on Clubhouse. Podcasters do real well there, so I know you will. Anything else I'm missing before I let you go?
Let me add some value. You know, I want to add value. This isn't me coming on pitching like just the book, like it's me letting people know how awesome the book is, which it is. The gifts I'm gonna ship to your door. And by the way, there's 4 other bonuses if you go to that URL, uncommonsuccessbook.com. So there's a total of 5 bonuses. Just one of them are those 3 journals shipped to your door. There's 4 other amazing bonuses. Check them out at uncommonsuccessbook.com. But that's not the only reason I'm here. I want to give value to. I want to say thank you to Doozy. He says, pre-ordering right now. Awesome, my man. You're a stud for obvious reasons. And everybody else who's giving thumbs up and doing all this stuff. So really cool. And I got a couple of thank you, Johns. You're awesome. And we see that question I want to answer because, again, I want to add value. So, guys, if you have questions, hit it up. I got a couple more minutes here. Yeah. But is it too late to, you know, launch a podcast was a question, like with a personal brand. The answer is absolutely not. It's too late to launch a weak, pale imitation of other people's podcasts, which is what everybody's doing these days, for sure. But if you find a massive problem that you can create the best solution to, which is all you should be doing in your life anyways, finding a massive problem that you can provide the best solution to and make that your podcast focus, you will win on a flipping huge level. So that's your focus in life. My book, The Common Path to Uncommon Success, in chapter 1, I teach you how to do that. Identifying your big idea. It's a whole process. It's amazing. I see somebody says, can you ship to England? We actually are going to give you immediate access to all 3 of our digital packs, which are beautiful, fillable PDF versions of all 3 of those journals. So you can't get the physical copies, unfortunately, but you will get, if you're outside the US, you'll get immediate access to all 3 of the journals digital pack, plus the other 4 bonuses are available all international. You can check them out at that URL. So what's the difference between setting intentions and goals? Listen, let's not mince words here. Like, let's not just ask questions and use these questions to slow us down. And I'm not trying to get on this person that's talking here. And, maybe David, you have a very specific and detailed answer to this, but I see this question and I'm like, why are you even slowing down with a question like this? Set a goal, set an intention, figure it out, execute, get over it, get to the next step, move. This is what you do. I was in the Army for 8 years. That's why sometimes I can get a little intense, because I used to lead soldiers in war, literally 13 months in Iraq, a tank platoon leader in charge of 4 tanks and 16 men. It's a good decision now is better than a great decision later, because guess what? You wait later to make a great decision, you might be dead because the bullets are flying. So you make a good decision now. So what's the difference between intentions and goals? Who cares? Set a goal, set an intention, flip and do it, take action. Buy my book, follow the 17 steps. You're going to be at your version of uncommon success. That's the question you should be asking. Why haven't I pre-ordered your book yet? David, you're up.
Yeah, so awesome, man. I take inventory of value so you can make those decisions. I believe, and I've been around the greatest minds, thought leaders in the world, and one common denominator they have is quick decision making, because they know their values, they know their intention, they have that 17-step plan in some amalgamation or some addition and version of that. I will tell you, I got so excited to have you on here to help all the audience and of course, all the following to be their best self, to be what they must be. And I think that encompasses what your journals allow you to do and what your new book, this Uncommon Success, is really pursuing your potential. You have done that for so many years, not just for yourself, but for others. I can't wait to hang out with you today at 2 p.m. as well on Clubhouse. One more time, uncommonsuccessbook.com. He has 5 different gift packages for you around the world. Digital if you're outside the U.S., in print if you're in the U.S. I'm going to be
And
the
the
first one
digital
on
version, because I saw a question about that. You get the digital version.
I'm going audio version because I just love your voice. I don't like to read anymore after law school. The less I read, the better. I'm a huge audio guy. I'm going to speed up your voice to 3 times, and I'm going to sit there. You'll be like,
you won't be able to on this book. I guarantee you. You might be able to go 1.5x because I have fast.
You talk fast.
Maybe 1.5, but at the same time, you might be able to do 2x. I doubt it though. 1.5x. I'm reading the book myself. Obviously, I'm going through right now. I wrote this book in 2020. I'm going through right now and like doing the audiobook as I like. And
Not easy.
Like, this book is so good. I love it. I love this book. Every pre-order that comes in makes me so happy because everybody's getting so much value. Like David, I'm literally losing money on every pre-order, but that's not the point. I've made it financially. You've done it financially. You're not here to like, add more zeros to your bank account. We're there. We love the impact. We love helping other people. That's the point. So I'm making it a flippin' no-brainer to make this happen because this book will change your life. It will change the life of those people you love. So get 2, 3, 4 copies, spread it out there, get it out there, make it happen.
Great Valentine's Day gift. Pre-order the books and the packages. Thank you, brother. I'll see you a little bit later today. The great John Lee Dumas. Thank you so much. JLD in the house. Whoa, we got off there. Perfect. All right. Amazing. Very few people do what I do, and they just give and pay for shipping and do all that. So just unbelievable. I'm going to go ahead. I don't see Liesl here. And so I think we're going to take another question. We got Clubhouse today at 2 p.m. Check it out. So many questions in here, by the way. It's amazing. Thank you. Was there a time in your life where you thought you had to start acting like the man to be the man? How's that different from, let me see, how's that different from fake it till you make it? So I think what this really is addressing is, do you take inventory of your values and, oh, hold on, my friends here, and are you afraid of being a hypocrite? So don't be afraid of being a hypocrite. You don't have to fake it, illuminate it. Don't fake it, illuminate it. Take inventory of your values and don't be afraid of being a hypocrite. I have my friend Liesl here, the Ever Widening Circles, co-founder of Ever Widening Circles, everwideningscircles.com. I think we got some connectivity here. We got it. Welcome, Jakey Bakes. That's good to see. The great John Lee Dumas. We'll keep that pinned up there as well. Training this Friday's on networking, especially on Clubhouse, social networking. David at dmeltzer.com if you want any information. My books, guides, exercises are all free. I'll ship them out as well. Go ahead and Liesl, we're trying to get you connected, my friend. everwideningscircles.com. Jake, having trouble connecting. Let's see here. Any other questions? You're both a blessing to us. Thank you. It was unable to join, Jake. I'm not sure if the connectivity was good, bad, or the other. How do you manage to lead your flagship business company while developing new ventures? Spine approach. Casey Adams in the house. Just a young, great entrepreneur. If you haven't followed Casey Adams, make sure you do. What's going on, Casey? Looking forward to seeing you. You should join me on Clubhouse sometime. Come this Friday. Come today at 2. Come on Mondays at 3. Would love to see you there, giving your great advice as the young entrepreneur that you are. I know you're a JLD fan like me. Welcome, though. Thank you for coming on. My biggest constraint is having enough hours to do everything I want. Any tips on getting more done? Yes. Be a student of your calendar. Study what you have planned, what you don't have planned. Study in your sleep. My tomorrow starts today. I'm looking for my friend. We may have to reschedule for Liesl. What do you think, Jake? Give me a note. Liesl, when you're on the phone, comment request to join. we pegged it. It wouldn't connect. Apologize to everyone. Thank you for your patience, my friend. Let's try one more time. Anyway, as we're waiting, we'll see. Does it allow me to take questions? Yeah. Oh, there we go.
Hey there. Sorry about
Hello.
that. How are you?
No, thank you for coming on. Thank you for your patience. If technology worked as well as you work, we'd be on already. But I am so amazed by your media company, and it's ever widening circles. I think is a great explanation of the expansion that's occurring, especially with media, and how the integration of all media becomes ubiquitous eventually. And I was talking earlier about people can't fathom the size and scope and scale of the potential audience that exists as a personal brand, almost as much as I always tell people I can't imagine or fathom infinity. I think ever widening circles really is descriptive of how we can at least address what we don't understand. And so how do you use your laser focus when things are ever expanding and widening beyond our capabilities, or conscious capabilities at least?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing with ever widening circles, it's like when you drop a pebble in the pond, like if your laser focus is that pebble, do what you can in your sphere of influence, in your sphere of genius, because you never know where those circles are going to go out from, right? When you drop a pebble in the pond, you don't know what shores they'll end up on. And so I think if each of us really chooses to do the thing that we're really passionate about, that adds to other people, that makes you're a multiplier for other people, suddenly you're throwing that laser focus, that pebble into the pond, and it's going out. It's going out in ways that you can't even know. It's reaching people that you can't even fathom. I think one of the things on our team is we're really looking at the numbers of people that are coming in and reading our content and being a part of our community. And it's like, imagine a room filled with that. Imagine a room filled with 10,000 people, right?
Thank
That
you.
would be incredible. Imagine a room, even on a bad day, right? On your bad day when, if 54 people, if we saw all 54 people that were on this live in a room together, it would be mind-blowing. That would be so lovely for us to be there. And so I think when we're in this digital space, we forget, we hear about these people that have 100K followers or 2 million followers or whatever, and we think, oh, I'll never get there. But if you have 200 people who are devoted to your message, imagine if you were in that room with 200 people. So that's, when it comes to laser focus, that's the new thing that I'm laser focused on this year, is every single one of those people, anybody that's on this live, you have something to drop into the pond, and it will go out in, pardon the pun, ever widening circles.
It's so awesome because I find so few people share the same philosophy I do. You're extremely pragmatic, Ivy League educated, economics, design, education, all the same types of things that I've looked at. But in the end, ever widening circles to me is aligned with one of, this idea of capture everything that you do, modify it for the different ponds that exist, amplify it by being laser focused in that pond on your frequency, which will strengthen your signal, allow that spectrum of people that you were talking about, and then also it clarifies your message. I don't think though people appreciate the perpetuation side of it. So take the 50 or so people that are concurrent listening to us, but as an aggregate, it'll get to 2,000 people in the 45 minutes or so that I'm on here. That, I was a speaker around the world pre-COVID, and I can't tell you how appreciative I was to stand in front of 2,000 people, and how significant. And then, you see 500,000 people that will watch it afterwards because this is captured on an IG, right? And then I think, how many stadiums, is that every day? And then you see the impressions and the views and all of that just on Instagram, and then you add in all the other platforms. To me, this is exactly where I started with. I cannot fathom not only what my frequency does today, planting seeds under trees I may never sit under, but what really excites me is I'm old enough and experienced enough and appreciative enough to know that the perpetuation of my content, when you look at Napoleon Hill, he was talking about Jim Rome, you're talking about, the guys that I still, Wayne Dyer, who's passed away.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine
And
the access.
I think it's really beautiful to think about, maybe not maybe the word legacy is the wrong word there, but just the ways in which our spheres of influence will be perpetuated after, right? What's the old saying? Like, you die twice, once when you actually die, and then once people stop saying your name. And I think
Unless
that,
you're a professional athlete, then you die 3 times
right, exactly. As
when
a
you
former
stop playing.
athlete, not
Exactly.
even professional. I think that there's something there to say, like, we each have the power to connect with so many people, however we're existing in the world. And I think the more that people do that in a genuine way, right? We're not trying to, I think you guys are just talking, you don't want to be a facsimile of somebody else, right? You're never going to be successful if you're trying to be like the Instagram superstar or the author. You have to have like a genuine understanding of who you are and what your message is in order to get other people on board, in order to get other people to care and love what you do with the same passion. And I think that's what we're really discovering right now as we're sort of heading into 2021, is we're seeing people that want to connect on this like deeply personal level. And I don't know if it's because we haven't been able to do it in person for a while, or if it's because I think people are recognizing that genuine connection is so important. And it, like I said, it just keeps building on itself. It keeps developing an even deeper and deeper sort of resonance once you get to a certain point.
Yeah, and to finish, I mean, you're exactly right. But to finish up, there is a distinction I'd like to bring up to get your perspective on. I'm an ambassadorship person, right?
Yeah.
I started with Gary Vaynerchuk and told him I wanted 2 people that would get me 2 people a year to get me 2 people. And in 20 years, when I'm 70 years old, I'll be one of the most popular, but also engaged people on the internet, with 2 million people getting me 2 million, 4 million getting, you and I share that exact pebble in the pond approach. But one of the things I think a lot of people ignore that have our perspective is, and I come from the marketing world when I ran Lee Steinberg, and I had to market big brands and big athletes, and there is a market still that is not engaging. There's a market of eyeballs that are typical brands still, and to me, the platform for eyeballs is TikTok.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? It's just, okay, I haven't impacted you at all. Right? But companies will pay money to have me wear your shirt, say your name, have your hat, and you'll be famous for being seen. For not like for me, I'm into planting seeds under trees I'll never sit under. Like, nothing makes me happier than when I get this, whatever communication saying, hey, 4 years ago, I saw you on a stage and you told me to say thank you before I go to bed and when I wake up every day, and you told me and guaranteed it would change my life. And here's what my life is like today. Like, tears come down my heart. That's not happening on TikTok.
No.
Right? But they may be making a fortune, wearing shirts and, dancing. I always say I'd be a great dancing bear if I know how to dance.
Listen, you gotta find your skill level. No, I think those are good distinctions. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so as a media, in the media approach of it, because you're in the business of media, how do you reconcile more like me, this Buddhist, Hindu, I call it the ferocious Buddha approach, to
I was
just
noticing your
straight
motto
marketing.
there.
Yeah, just straight marketing. Just like, eyeballs.
Yeah. I think to me, here's the thing. I think to me, I'm more interested in finding a genuine group of people who want to participate in the media I'm creating. And I think that that's a little counterintuitive to how a lot of people go about things these days. But I really do believe that the people who show up in the room are the people that you want to show up in the room, right? And you can start trying to go for, maybe you genuinely are like, your brand is guy dancing without his shirt off, and if that's your genuine brand, go for it. Do whatever you think is right there. But if my brand is not guy dancing with my shirt off, and I'm trying to get some other thing, I'm trying to plant my seeds or whatever it is, be a Buddhist, whatever it is, right? Like, those two things are kind of are incongruous, right? And I think one of the things we very often forget is that, like, you don't get to be 2 people in this world. You can't be like the online Liesl and the offline Liesl. Like, we're coming to a place where those people have to be the same, and they are the same thing. And I think people really know and are getting are sniffing out. And I think this is something that I think Gen Z is actually particularly good at, is like sniffing out kind of people who aren't real, right? People who are disingenuous, people who are trying, I don't know, like migrant generation would have called like tryhards, right? They're trying to get your attention, And I think we've developed an attention economy on the internet. This is something we talk about a lot, is like everyone's vying for attention. Every crazy headline that you see, every insane image you see, you can scroll to the bottom of any website and there's all those ads at the bottom, right? So we've developed this attention economy. And I'm really interested in what we can do if we understand the attention economy and give our attention to something else, right? Like, we're really trying to encourage people to pause before they click on nonsense, to, take a step back. If there's a fight breaking out in the comment section, don't add to the acrimony. There's science to say that won't help. Plus there's the personal existence to know it's not going to help. I think there's all these things that we can do to make the world a better place, the internet world. And I think that starts with being genuine with one another and saying, and asking people to be real. Just be real. Be a nice person like you would in person. I wouldn't go up to you, David, and be like, this is absolute craziness, blah, 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 like someone in your comments section might. So treat people like real people. We aren't two different people when it comes to the internet and real life. And I think that's coming across in the way that influencers work, in the way that media is being created. People know when you're being genuine. And when we write and when we create content, we really try and go with that realness. We're saying what's in it for the other person, but also how is it striking us, and then writing from that perspective.
It's so true. And I think I call it finding your frequency. And I grew up in an era where people stood on commercials on TV in front of cars they didn't own and houses they didn't own, telling you how you could get rich. And I see that dissipating on the internet, on social media, that the people that illuminate who they are. And it's some of the biggest comments that I get. I get my personal cell phone out when people aren't happy, when they're in the comments and they aren't happy. And 99% of them won't call me because they know I'm the real David Meltzer. They're going to get it. I'm really interested in why you're unhappy, and I'm interested in why you feel that way and what I can learn from it. And when people do, most of them call to apologize and say, hey, I'm really sorry, I was trying to do this, but I'd like to learn more from you. And I find that to be a huge value. These ever widening circles, absolutely love the visual concept of how that constructs in this unfathomable size. And the favorite thing that you have said to me, which I tell everyone, is learn to appreciate your audience. Learn to appreciate your audience. It's more than just empowering people. There's a true appreciation of these, again, 50 people that are concurrently on here and the hundreds of thousands that'll watch afterwards. Appreciate them and say, hey, look, I know you got a trillion different items that you could be watching right now, and I hope this is of value to you, because that's why you and I do what we do beyond the monetization and empowerment. This is truly what we do to make that impact. Where can people, it's everwideningsircles.com, at Ever Widening Circles on Instagram. Where else can they find the Ever Widening Circles?
So we have an app that's the best way. We call it like your little dose of optimism in your pocket. So you can grab our Ever Widening Circles app on the App Store, on either App Store. And it's a great thing. I think we're so used to getting notifications that are like, here's the worst thing that happened today. And ours are like, here's the best thing you'll read today. And that's a great way. And then for anybody that is looking to connect with a group of entrepreneurs, developers, creatives, professionals that are working in the sphere of goodness, we're actually launching a professional and personal growth network next week. You can sign up to be a charter member at conspiretogether.com. We really believe there's a conspiracy of goodness going on, and that if we're all working in our own little corners and don't know each other exist, we can't push all of our organizations forward. So that's something we're really excited about in 2021, is getting all these people with great ideas, great passions, getting them a place where they can grow together and collaborate in a really beautiful way. So that's one of the things we're really excited about here in the new year, is getting people to conspire together for goodness. So you can sign up to be a charter member on conspiretogether.com, we're really excited about this. I'm working on it right now, and it's super beautiful, and I can't wait for people to be able to grow, connect, and learn from one another on this awesome platform.
That's awesome. I just pinned it there, inspiretogether.com. And I don't think there's a better organization aligned with my first book, Connected to Goodness. So, which I'm happy to send out for free and ship and sign for people. If you go ahead and sign up at Inspire Together, make sure you reach out for the Connected to Goodness book, which will allow you to get the concept of how we're all connected and what we can do together as a collective consciousness. We can create positive, ever widening circles to help empower others, to empower others to be happy. You certainly are doing it.
Thank you so much,
Liesl,
David.
thank you so much for your time. I look forward to doing more with you. Come back and visit me, okay?
Yes, I will. I'm very excited. I think we've got a lot in common, and next I'll wear my mala beads next time too.
Only thing we don't have in common is you got accepted to Harvard and I got rejected. So
that's
there.
I mean, weirdly, it was the only place I got into. I don't know how that happened.
Oh,
We're
here we
so
go
confused.
again. I'll talk to you later. I love you. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
I love it. Bye. It's like my brothers. Yeah, I turned down Stanford and they were my backup choice. So I'm like, God, it's my favorite school. Rejected, by the way. That's okay. Let me take one quick question. Join me today, 2 p.m. on Clubhouse. Friday, 6 a.m. on Clubhouse, the Millionaires Breakfast Club, Breakfast of Champions. 11 a.m., my trainings on Friday. This Friday's on networking, social networking, Clubhouse specifically as well, going through how we build these audiences, how we empower others. I'm going to take one more question real quick because I can't help myself. Let me see here. What's your favorite quote of all time? I think it's "Be kind to your future self." That's my favorite quote. There's so many of them. Look in the Connected to Goodness book. If you want it, you can email me, david@dmeltzer.com. It was pinned below earlier, david@dmeltzer.com. I'll sign my book, send it to you. Got a lot of offers today. I'll pay for shipping, but be kind to your future self and do good deeds. On that note, I'll see you guys later, 2 p.m. on Clubhouse. Friday on Clubhouse, 6 a.m., 11 a.m. training, networking, social media networking, especially Clubhouse. There you go. I'm going to pin that real quickly so everybody can see it. David@dmeltzer.com. Thank you, Jake. Thank you, everyone. It's been a great session. Be kind to your future self. Do good deeds. I'll see you later today. Thanks.